Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live session. This week, the topic is about tapping into the sprouting energy to build your future. Tapping into the sprouting energy to build your future. So, thank you so much for joining us live. Really appreciate the time that I have with you here every week to engage and exchange ideas, exchange wisdoms, exchange messages. So, welcome to this live session. If you have any questions as we're going through this video, please let me know. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. And please join us for this live discussion and live exchange, I should say. Hello, Ella Watson. Welcome to this live session. Deeply appreciate it. Okay, so let's clear the energy of the room and then let's talk about the sprouting energy, which is really from the Chinese divination system, the I Ching. And I want to talk about why the sprouting energy is so important and how to manage that energy, because the way you manage this energy is going to have a lot to do with the way you build your future. You build when you, especially when you're starting a new project, starting a new chapter, starting a new kind of venture, starting something new. How do you manage that new sprouting energy? Because the way you manage it is going to affect how it's rolled out, how whether it's going to be successful or not. Hello, April. Good morning. So let's clear the energy of the room and then let us get into this sprouting energy and how to use it to build your future. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. It could be a question about the sprouting energy, or if it could be a question about something else. And if I can answer it, let me know. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. Okay, so just relax, breathe naturally, stay present in the now, and focus your attention in this moment, the present moment. Dear God, Angel, Spirit Guide, send a message, Divine Creator. Thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space on the topic of how to tap into the sprouting energy to build the future. Thank you so much for allowing us to have this lively conversation, engage with one another, to learn from each other. Thank you so much for sending the wisdoms and messages for the highest and best good of everyone in this room to guide them on how to use the sprouting energy to build the future. So, thank you so much for removing also any low frequency energies that do not serve the highest and best interest of all the beautiful souls in this room. And thank you so much for allowing this session to go off without a hitch, to have a session with such peace, serenity, and flow. And so it is. Namaste. Okay, so the sprouting energy in the I Ching divination system is all about the energy of the sprouting. So it's like when you plant a seed in the soil, right? And it starts to sprout, whether it's a flower, whether it's a tree, whether it's a plant, you start to see the little sprouting energy that comes up, right? Well, that's the beginning of the journey of that plant or the flower or the tree. It's the beginning of a journey. So perhaps you're looking to start a new job or start a new project, start a new relationship, start a new business, start a new chapter in your life. That is when you are in the sprouting energy. There's the creative energy first, because it's the creativity that brings those energies together. And then through that creativity, you start seeing the sprouting. You start to see a little bit of that manifestation. And so this is a critical time because this sprouting energy, as it comes, as it starts to manifest a little bit and you start to see signs of it, this is a critical time because this is a time where this energy can really go in any direction. and because it's so young, it's so new. So as you can see, when the plant or that seed starts to sprout, the plant can go in any direction. The root or the stem will go this direction, or it could go this direction, or it could go this direction. It could go in many different directions, right? And so what is important to understand about that energy when it's so young is you're not trying to control and manipulate and trying to direct that energy at that point, even though you have a vision of where you want this new project, new chapter of your life to go. You have this overall big vision, but how it's going to get there, that is where you want to keep open during the sprouting energy. You don't want to try to control it too much. You don't want to try to impose too much on that sprouting energy. You want to see where it takes you. You still have the vision of the future, but there could be many different roads and many different paths to that future, right? Just because, there's, if you look at people's success stories, whatever, and let's say you interview 10 multimillionaires and they're all worth $20 million, let's say. 10 of those, each one of those multimillionaires will tell you a unique path, a unique journey, right? So they all have $20 million, but their paths and their roads were all different. So there's no one way of getting there. There's only flow. There's only movement. There's only change. There's only pivot. There's only change is the only constant. And so this sprouting energy, as it starts to sprout, that's a critical energy. Rather than trying to be so rigid and try to direct it in one direction, because you have this expectation that it should go in a certain specific way, a specific road. There's 10 different roads, but you expect it to go on road one. Maybe that sprouting energy would thrive better on road three or path three rather than path one. You hear what I'm saying? It's not, you don't want to impose at such a young stage. You don't want to impose too much. You don't want to try to control and manipulate too much that energy. You want the energy to see where it's taking you. Which direction is it taking you? Is it taking you in path two or path five or path six or path seven? So that means that mentally, emotionally, you want to keep your thoughts and your emotions open. You want to keep it open to which direction the energy wants to go. The sprouting energy, because it could go in so many different ways. The sprouting energy, which direction is it going to flow naturally and organically? Because you might think that it should go on path one, but really the better path for this energy, for this project, for this new relationship, for this new business is really on path four. Now, does it mean that it should stay on path four? No. That means that it could pivot to path three and then pivot again to path five and then pivot to path six. It's all about this. It's never this. It's never just a straight road. The road is winding and meandering. That is what you want to allow that sprouting energy to go into the whichever direction that it should go, but it's still going towards the final vision. Even though it might meander like this, it's still going towards that that vision that you have. Not final vision, because there's no finality. There's no final destination because we're eternal soul of eternal expansion. But meaning that vision, that post, you're going to a post. And once you've achieved that post, you're going to go to another post, because we are on an eternal journey of expansion and growth. Hi, Jackson. Hi, Jackson. How are you? So, if you have any comments or any questions around this as I'm going through this discussion, please let me know. Okay, let's see. Let's take a 30-second break and see if there's any questions or comments. Jax 10. Oh, don't worry. We're glad to have you. You're never too late. You're never too early. So true. Hi, B. Jack says, so true. It's never a straight path. That's right. Mer Mer Marie Mirik Levy. Good evening from Hong Kong. Oh, good evening. Oh, I love Hong Kong. Beautiful place. You know, I recently was talking to people from Hong Kong. They live there, and they were telling me the quality of life, and it seems like the quality of life there is pretty high. So, welcome from Hong Kong. Okay. Hi, B3. Nice to see you. Okay, so Ella Watson says, interesting topic. Okay, so if you have any questions about the topic, let me know. And so let's get back to the sprouting energy. The sprouting energy, like I said, it's a young energy. It just sprouted. So let's take, for example, you're trying to create a new business. I want to apply the sprouting energy to a real life case. Let's say, said Moon, I want to become a business coach, let's say, because I've spent so many years organizing and structuring other people's businesses, and I think I want to own my own company and my own brand to sell my business coach services because I'm really good at helping people build businesses. And so now you came up with this idea. The idea is from your creativity energy. The energy of creativity has sprouted that idea. And now that idea is going to grow, and it's going to take a form into that sprouting energy. So, what are you doing? You're saying, okay, now how do I brand myself? What message do I want to put out there that I'm a business coach and this type of business coach? I'm a business coach, let's say, for women who want to start product companies, right? And, women love products just as I do. And I want to become a business coach, really focusing on women that create products, great products for our health and wellness space. So, whatever it could be dietary supplements, it could be a beauty product, it could be so many different products. And I want to become a business coach for those types of female founders and entrepreneurs because I love the health and wellness space. I spent many years working for companies, big companies in the health and wellness space, helping them to build their product and get that message out there. And so the first thing is what type of a business coach and what type of messaging am I? So that there's the first thing is I have to understand what my messaging is and I have to understand what type of coach I really am because that's the foundation. The foundation is who are you as a business coach? What value proposition do you bring to as a business coach, right? And what messaging are you going to put out that aligns with your brand, aligns with who you are, aligns with your integrity, aligns with your value system? Those are really important because you want to be able to connect with the right entrepreneurs. You don't want to connect with an entrepreneur that's trying to, let's say, write software, right? Because you believe in health and wellness products and women, and you don't want to become a business coach to men because your passion is to support women. So on that journey is that there's a sprouting energy. It's starting to sprout because what's starting to sprout here is who you are as a business coach. However, as you're writing this down, you want to be open to which way this direction is going to go. You're even though you made that set that intention that I want to be a business coach to women who sell products or create innovative products in the health and wellness space. While you're doing that, you want to say, okay, I'm putting out this energy and I'm starting this energy and I'm writing it all down because writing it is the most powerful thing for, especially for a sprouting energy. But you want to say, you know what? I want to keep open to which direction it really wants me to go. Because even though I'm thinking health and wellness products, maybe this energy and women, maybe this energy might actually be for uh, for for women in a different or women who are more in a low income situation who want to sell products rather than women who have the resources to sell products. So how that energy is going to unfold is going to be something that you want to set the intention that you are open to the direction that this is going to go. That overall, I want to become a business coach, that it's going to become a direction that you're going to open to. It might actually end up that rather than supporting women who are selling adult women who are selling products, the energy might actually take you to a direction where it might be teenage girls who are trying to start business. Maybe they're building jewelry, maybe they're creating beautiful little items. They have their crafts and they're so good at the crafts and they want to sell on Etsy. Maybe it's going to actually go into a direction that you're going to really be supporting teenage girls who have products that they're maybe trying to sell on Etsy. You see what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is, you say, you know what, universe, I set the intention that I want to help women and I want to help women who build health and wellness products and products that really inspire and motivate others. But I'm open to which direction it's really going to go. Because I guarantee 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't go exactly the way you expect it. And your business tends to evolve. So, what you thought at the beginning, 2, 3 years later, the business could look completely different. And the most important thing here is that you're open to it. You're open to the fact that the business is looking and evolved very differently from where you started. I spoke with one of the founders of Netflix who actually, went to my alma mater, not Reed, but the other gentleman, Mark. And he always said, they built Netflix. He was one of the co-founders, right? And he said, you know what? The business is never what the way it started. It's never the way it started. Great founders are always open for the business to evolve in the way that it should, according to the energy that it should go. According to the energy that it should go. So, especially during the sprouting period, which is the earliest of the earliest, right? Because you're just sprouting, that is the time to be most open. That is the time to keep your mind and your heart and your emotions and your thoughts open to different ways and different opportunities and different paths that it can take. Are we saying that we want to go on, it should go on 5 different paths in the sprouting? No, that's not what we're saying here. Because at some point you do want to pick a lane and you want to pick a path. What we're saying is that based on what's happening in the business, let's say, so you set this intention to support women who are creating health and wellness products, then all of a sudden you have lunch with a friend, and the friend says to you, "Oh my God, I am the director of, this nonprofit organization for teenage women who are looking to create businesses." And you're like, "Oh my God, that's so interesting." He's like, "And I think that my girls in this organization, the teenage girls that we support, would love this guidance." So you set the intention out, the universe heard you, And now the universe is bringing the cooperative components, saying, oh, wow, that is so cool. Let me explore that. Let me explore that. I never thought of that. I always thought that this would be women, I don't know, who are more of an adult age, 20s and up, that, that have some resources behind them to start a business. Because, when you're starting a product business, you might have to have some resources. I never thought of that. And so what they're saying is that you want to be open to that. You want to keep yourself open to whichever way it goes. And the reason why it's so important to keep your mind and heart open is because you want to receive those cooperative components that you didn't even expect, that is right for this sprouting energy. Like the friend that you had lunch with who runs a nonprofit organization for teenage girls that want to create businesses. If you weren't open, if you didn't keep yourself open to different possibilities, you probably wouldn't have had lunch with that friend. And you would not have even heard of such a beautiful organization where your services can be matched with. You see what I'm saying? The reason why it's so important to keep yourself open is because then you can receive those cooperative components that you didn't even expect, that are right for your intention, that is right for your vision. And that sprouted energy wants to go in that direction, even though you didn't expect it was going to go in that direction. It's a pleasant surprise. Okay, so let's take another break and see if there's any questions about this. B3. B3. Hi, Katie. How are you? What about foundation and who am I? I'm writing this down. Yes. Yes. So the foundation is who are you, right? So you want to write down, what are your value systems? You know, what are your value systems? That's really important to get clear about who you are, because you have to understand your value systems. What are your gifts? Write that down. That comes naturally. What are your talents and gifts that come naturally? You say, you know what? I just have a gift for writing. Writing comes so easily to me. Or, math comes so easily to me. Write that down. So, what type of person are you? Are you more introverted? Are you more extroverted? Are you somebody who likes to have fun? Are you somebody who's more serious? Are you somebody who's more shy? Are you somebody who's more outgoing? And what are your interests? What are your interests? I love animals. I think that if I weren't doing what I do now, I could easily become a panda bear keeper. Really, I could. That's an interest. Animal is a huge interest of mine. My dog is like my child, but I love animals. And I know that animals for sure is a big interest among, among other things, but spirituality and metaphysical areas are huge interests of mine. But the other interests I have huge interest in animals. And I could totally see myself being a panda bear keeper, and I would never get sick of that job. How can you get sick of being with panda bears all day, every day, right? Can't get sick of it. They're the most beautiful, precious things. Because I don't get sick of my dog. And my dog could be aggressive. He was abused, so he could be aggressive, but I never get sick of him. So write down those things, those four areas, and that really shows you your foundation of who you are. But like I said, your value system is so important. No, understanding your talents and gifts, understanding what you're really interested in, what you never get tired of, and understanding more of your sort of human design. Am I more of an introvert or am I more of an extrovert? Do I like being in parties? Do I not like being in parties? Uh, do you know? Do I like speaking up for myself, or do I not like it? understanding your personality. So those four areas, I would say, write it down to understand your foundation. Hi, Heidi. Great to see you. Thank you, Heidi. You know, I always love Boulder. Okay, any other questions like connecting with angels? B3, would you please clarify that question? What do you mean by like connecting with angels? Um, of course, you could connect with your spirit team. And I would urge you to connect with your spirit team. I think they are very incredible and they're very precious. And you know, I don't know exactly who my spirit team is. I know that my late sister's son, my mom, who passed away, they're definitely on my spirit team. But I know I have other spirits, so I just say spirit team. That's what I refer to them as spirit team. But I know that there's spirits around me always. Ella Watson says, I still desire the quartz from Culver. Oh, was that for Heidi? I love you too, Ella. Much love and blessings to you. As in what my gifts are. Okay. So the gifts, so B3, this is how you determine what your gifts and talents are. It's things that really come naturally to you. You know, I just know that like with my husband, he's so good at putting together like furniture, IKEA, really good at like putting things together by hand, like really good at it. It just comes, or he's really good at just knowing how to get somewhere, like the map. He just looks at the map. He doesn't even need a GPS and he knows exactly where he's going. Like that's a talent and gift that he has. It's so natural. It comes to him really naturally. That stuff would never come to me naturally. Like putting things together, like furniture. I mean, I was trying to put together this picnic table a few weeks ago, and it took me 2 days to put it together. 2 days. It would have taken him maybe 2 to 3 hours, but it took me 2 days. And I was messing up with even the instructions, but he understood exactly which parts needed to go together. So you know where you're really good at. You just know. So what you want to do is you want to have some alone time, go to nature, go to the beach, go wherever you feel makes you feel calm. And then you say, ask yourself, hey, inner child, subconscious mind, what are my natural gifts and talents? What are the things that come to me naturally that I know that I'm good at? Like my niece, she's so good at math. She's like a genius in math. The math comes to her like that. Math, I'm like, I'm such a dud. I'm using Chat GPT now to help me with the math. They say Asians are good with math. That's a stereotype that may or may not be true. My niece, she's so good at it, and it comes to her so naturally, right? So you just know. And so you write down what are the things that come to you so naturally that you know that you were born with. You know, all of my late sister's son, piano. Oh my God. She played piano so beautifully. And you could tell she's natural at playing that piano. But somebody could be playing the piano for 20 years and she might be have played it for 5 years. She would be better than the person who played it for 20 years. That was a natural gift that she had. Okay? So you know, your soul knows. The higher part of you already knows what you're good at. Okay? You just got to quiet the mind, take a journal, go somewhere that quiets your mind, and then you'll know and you'll write it down. Hi, Nicole Williams. I believe I know my gifts and passion, but the desire isn't always there to do it. When I get the drive and passion, I notice how much fun I have. Okay, I understand. So so um there's a certain level of I think that's more of a procrastination there. It's not really that so much it's a desire. It's more, Nicole, that something is preventing you, something deeper. The underlying energy of your thoughts and your belief systems and your subconscious mind is holding you back. It might be fear of failure. It might be that you feel that you're not good enough. You feel that you don't deserve it. There's something underlying there that is not allowing you to move forward with it. Because you say when you do it, you have so much fun, right? So why is it that you're not propelling and moving in that direction? There's something underlying that's that's telling your ego mind. It could be your subconscious, it's telling your ego mind, don't do it. You're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. They're the things that you don't deserve it, right? There's these limiting beliefs that you're telling in a much deep in a subconscious level that you're telling yourself that's preventing you. There's fear, maybe fear of failure, right? Fear of this, fear of that. So there's that underlying energy. So you want to really look deeper into why. Yeah, you can ask your inner child, what is stopping me from doing this? Why am I not moving things forward with this? When I know that I love it and I have the passion, I have the gift, what's preventing me from moving forward? Okay, so when you have those underlying low frequency energies, it takes away to desire to move forward, right? If you think you're not good enough, then it takes away the desire. If you have fear of something, it takes away the desire, right? So it's not that you are good enough, first of all. You are more than good enough. And what is the worst thing that could happen? Think about it. If you have fear around it, what's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, that it stops? Is that the worst thing? Really? You know what I'm saying? That's not the worst thing, you know? So, there's the underlying energies that are preventing you, Nicole. Hi, Ella Watson. Funny thing, I have thought about starting a jewelry business on Etsy to support craft makers in our locality, women crafters. So I resonate with the illustration. I wasn't confident with idea. Wow, Ella Watson. See, you know what it is? I picked up on that energy. I picked up on the energy that somebody in the room wants to create like things, those beautiful craft things, one of a kind things on Etsy. It's in my human design. It's like weird. Like my head and ajna center, it's completely open. So I could pick up things. And also I'm empathic. So I'm always picking up energies from others. And I picked up that energy somewhere. That's why, all of a sudden Etsy came to mind. All of a sudden handcraft things came to mind. All of a sudden jewelry came to mind. It's because my head and ajna center, my human design is completely open. Nicole Williams says, I think it's how I use my gifts. I like to create stories, but not write it. Okay. You could create stories. Now, there's so many AI apps now where you can create stories with images. You could create stories with music. You don't have to write it down to create stories. A picture is more than 1,000 words, right? Why not think about creating stories with images using maybe AI applications out there? There's so many. You know what I'm saying? So that might be, you don't have to write it you don't have to write stories and words to create stories. You can also create it through images. There's different ways to create stories. So think outside of the box. Use your creative energy to think outside the box, okay? B3 says, I opened my Etsy twice and they shut it down randomly last April. So I'm going to quiet my mind. I enjoy knowing my angels such as Archangel Michael. Yeah, Archangel Michael, wonderful. Great protector. Great angel. And I'm glad that you're tapping into your angels. I think it's important. I think it's important to tap into your angels and your spirit team. Nicole Williams, I definitely feel like an imposter. There you go. That is holding you back. That is holding you back. You see? That is holding you back. Imposter. Wow. What a strong energy and imposter. When you feel like an imposter, that would definitely hold anybody back. And why do you say that you're an imposter? Think about that. You're not an imposter, you know? Um, and then you say, Nicole says, I have been told by my parents this is something I can't do. Their voice are still in my head. You are right. It has become a belief. There you go, Nicole. You're running the same story that you're not good enough. And you know what? I totally resonate with you. Why? Because I grew up with a father that said the same thing about his children. He would say it in front of others. He would put us down in front of other people. Could you imagine a father putting you down in front of other people, saying that my kids are this, my kids are no good? He would put us down constantly. So for many years, and to this day, I still have to deal with those energies of not feeling good enough. Of course, there are voices in your head. So Nicole, you know, every do the last week I mentioned about the mirror work, the Louise Hay mirror work. Take a mirror and say to yourself, Nicole, you are beautiful. Nicole, you can do it. Nicole, you are good enough. Nicole, you are unconditionally worthy. Nicole, you're original. Nicole, you're not an imposter. Nicole, say things about it, reinforce. And if you say to yourself, Nicole, you're good enough. Nicole, you could say to yourself, I let go of my parents' energy towards me, that, let go of the limiting beliefs of my parents' energy towards me. I let go of that. I let it go. I said it and let it go to the universe. Let that go. Say, I today set a strong intention and release all of the limiting beliefs that my parents have imposed on me, and know that it's their limiting belief that they've imposed on you. Because if they didn't have a limiting belief about their life, they would never impose their limiting belief about your life. You have to understand that that comes from a limiting belief about their life. And because they had a limiting belief about their life, they're imposing it onto you. They're projecting it onto you. You get what I'm saying? So you want to set intention to let it go. Let it go. You could write it down, and you could set it on fire. You could write it down. You can go to the ocean, and you could let the ocean sweep away that limiting belief. You can stand in the ocean and say, I let go of this. Um, Hi, Ella. So we got to the root cause of what's preventing you, Nicole. Nicole, you are, without a doubt, the most beautiful, unconditionally worthy person with talents and gifts that God has bestowed upon you. For you to use that and apply that in this life, that will resonate with people. Hands down. That's it. And all of the white noise coming from society and coming from parents, that's the society's limiting beliefs. That's your parents' limiting belief. It has nothing to do with you. They're projecting it onto you, okay? Allah says, I still can't believe it. I'm glad you picked up the energy. It feels like a nudge from the universe. Yes, explore it. See where it goes. Again, going back to that sprouting energy. See where it goes. Say, oh, maybe it's Etsy, and try it out. See if you like it. Does it mean that you have to do it forever? Absolutely not. It could be the start of something. Absolutely not. It could be one thing that you're sprouting, you're exploring. You're exploring that maybe you want to go on the Etsy website and research what are the terms and policies of the sellers. Do you like it? Do you agree with them? Try it, and then try it and sell it and see how it goes. Again, doesn't mean that you're going to be there forever. It's change is the only constant. It's that flow. Okay. Maybe there's another platform like Etsy that's even better that you will discover. So what I'm saying is keep it open. Keep it open right now. Um, okay. So Ella, we congratulate you, and I want to wish you such success and a beautiful journey as you put out your products to the universe and to us. And I guarantee there will be people out there that will resonate with your products. You're welcome, Nicole. It was my honor and privilege to serve you. So you're welcome, Nicole. Um, Ella Watson says, I feel like the universe positions me to serve women many times, offer solutions for women. Wow, that is so interesting. I just love that. I am always so in awe and inspired by women that always want to support other women. I think it is the most beautiful thing that there ever is. And I think it's because I grew up with four sisters and one brother. And so we had five girls in the family. And so for me, that female energy has always been the predominant energy in my life because of my sisters and my mom. My mom was the one that we really got along. Our dad was abusive. So between my mom and my four sisters, it's that I've always been surrounded and much more influenced by the female energy. So it's something that I love, and I congratulate you for figure understanding that you want to serve women and you want to resonate with their energy, and I think it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Ella. Hi, Perry. How are you? Thank you, Heidi, for wishing everyone success. Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you. Perry says, if the oyster had hands, there would be no pearl, said Steve. Oh my God, I love that. If the oyster had hands, there would be no pearl. Absolutely. I get it. What a beautiful thing. You're welcome, Ella Watson. Um, Heidi says, me too, Moon. I will always cheer those beautiful souls on. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think that all souls are beautiful, whether it's female, male, or a combination. You know, we're all combinations of female and male, right? It's just that I think with women, they have more female energy and less male energy, right? And men also have female energy. They might just have it, they'll have it less than male energy, but I've always been surrounded myself with a lot of female energy. So really appreciate it. And I think my next baby, I say baby, i.e. dog. I think my next baby, I'm gonna try to get a female energy if I can. My dog Happy is male, and I think next one I'm gonna try to bring in a female energy. If that's the way the energy goes, it's all about the sprouting energy. I'm open, but my intention is to bring in a female energy as my baby. Um, I love, Ella says, I love to hear that. Thank you once again. You're welcome. It is my honor and privilege. Okay, so let's go back to the sprouting energy. And so what I was saying is that so now the sprouting energy is the energy, it's the beginning energy, it's the new energy that's just sprouting. So for instance, in Ella's case, she's thinking about, selling jewelry or a craft or whatever her beautiful product is on Etsy, right? To and focused on women, right? So I think that energy is so she set that intention, but she's seeing which way is that energy going to flow? Is it going to flow in path one? Is it going to flow to path two? Is it going to flow to path four? Is it going to flow to path five? And what you're doing is you're paying attention to which way that energy, you're taking a mini step towards that direction. So you said, maybe Etsy. Okay. So let me go to Etsy and let me see what the terms are. Let me feel the energy of the website. Do I like it? Do I not like it? So you're taking these baby steps in the sprouting energy. You're starting to take baby steps in a certain direction. And as you start to take those baby steps in that direction, you're seeing which way the door opens, which way the energy flows, which way the door is opening for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's happening. You're seeing you're taking those baby steps, and that's the sprouting energy. The sprouting energy is not to have a huge commitment. The sprouting energy is to have small commitments towards that direction because you want to keep that energy open. So as you take baby steps, like the sprout is a baby, you're also taking baby steps towards that. This way, you're not completely committed right now. That's the sprouting energy. The sprouting energy is I'm taking some steps, baby steps towards that direction, but I'm not completely committed to that direction right now. That's the key here. I'm not completely committed to that direction. I am open to other paths. I'm open to other possibilities. So that's what the sprouting energy is, okay? Is that you're taking baby steps towards a certain direction, but you're keeping yourself very open to other possibilities, other opportunities, other directions, okay? And that's really the essence of that sprouting energy, is not hugely committed, taking baby steps, but open to other directions, okay? So does anybody do you know about spirit babies? Well, I don't know. I think I know just as much as you know, which is, the spirits that are more of the young spirit or the baby spirits that have maybe passed, or that, or that hasn't grown to maturity. I think spirits can also have different levels of expansion and growth. So maybe you're referring to spirits that have more of a younger energy to them as opposed to more mature. So, I mean, that's, as much as I know about spirit babies. Um, okay. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions? Um, oh, thank you, Perry. Everyone on this magnificent day on earth, with love, with our love and creativity to live joyously. Thank you, Perry, for those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful words. And the way you put together the words is just so poetic. I'm always amazed. Yeah, old souls versus baby souls. Yes. Um, I hope you get a nice female companion. Thank you. Paris says our lives extend out into the universe with unimaginably unexpected things that are possible when we realize our own unique soul's purposes with loving kindness and creativity. Thank you, Perry. So beautifully said. Thank you so much. So if there is no other questions, let's close this room out. Just remember the sprouting energy. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to see you too. Just remember that the sprouting energy is a baby energy. It's a new energy. So you're keeping your heart and mind open to different possibilities to go in different directions, yet you're taking baby steps towards a direction. And as you take those baby steps and you keep yourself open, your mind and heart open to different possibilities in different directions, you could maybe be pivoting pretty quickly to a different direction. That is the sprouting energy. So incorporate that into your life as you start something new. Maybe it's a new business, new relationship, new chapter of your life. Okay, so that's the sprouting energy. Okay, thank you so much. Let's do a closing prayer. Dear God, angels, spirit guides, and masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space on the topic of how to tap into the sprouting energy to build your future, to build a new project, new relationship, new chapter of the beautiful soul's life. Thank you so much for continuing to direct these beautiful souls as they are going to manifest their sprouting energy and guide them in the direction and show them all of the different possibilities and allow them to be in flow with various possibilities and to be able to change, pivot, shift as they should in this sprouting energy stage. So thank you so much for your continued support, your continued wisdoms, your continued guidance, your continued protection over our souls and over our lives, and most importantly, your unconditional love. And so it is. Namaste. Bye. Much love and have a great rest.